Welcome back, guys. Game number 2 is ready and underway. The draft has started. We're in this best of 3. Boreal Esports up against Complexity Gaming. I'm Durka here in the JD studio, and I'm not alone. I'm not alone for game number 2. A good friend Nahaz is joining me. His young one is asleep, hopefully, for this game and the rest of the series. But how are you doing, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. This is going to be a lot of fun, I think. Casual late night cast and the first pick, Lena. I tweeted this a couple of days ago. It doesn't have the best win rate, but I don't think there's a better draft opening right now than Lena and Earthshaker. Those two heroes just fit this meta so well, and they can play such a variety of roles. And Complexity, banning the Queen of Pain, preventing the mirror matchup that I thought really essentially decided the last game. Swindle, who really copped a lot of criticism for some of his mechanics, despite the fact that I think the consensus at TI was that he was a very effective captain, really looked mechanically very, very good in that last game, dominated the matchup against Pizza Dad.
Yeah, it was meticulous from Complexity. The fact they ran the aggro, the Earthshaker couldn't play the holding role mid, couldn't stack for Lena, couldn't open things up once she hit level 3. Everything was just really, really fine-tuned to shutting down everyone. Like, Complexity won every single lane, in effect, basically.
Yeah, I don't usually like aggro trial-ins from Radiant because I feel like you're contesting a part of the map, that upper left quadrant of the map. There's just nothing there, right? I mean, those are the two most useless towers on the map to get, especially the Radiant top T1. But they were able to shut down the PL's farm so effectively. And I mean, PL's a hero. You kind of saw it a little bit in the last game. He can come back in levels, but it's much harder for him to come back in. It's harder for him to flash farm like he once could, and he just never was able to sustain that level of farm. The Tusk Open I like quite a lot. The Tusk Winter Wyvern I'm not so sure about as a combo, just because Wyvern is an amazing pub support to play. If those of you that are looking to kind of branch out in your support play, just a great pub support. But I feel like on the competitive level, this is a hero that you take maybe in the second phase when you've seen a little bit more of what the other team has to offer.
Yeah, especially when you know what their offlaner is, because Winter Wyvern can really heavily zone certain heroes out. It can also do a little bit of what Naga and Scarth do. Move towards the middle lane for the first wave and a half with Arctic Burn, control top rune once it hits the 2-minute mark. But it's not as sort of versatile, I feel, in that sort of movement around. Obviously it's versatile in the fact that it's got Splinter Blast to hold out waves, you can heal people up, you've got a big teamfight ulti, but you can't make the same sort of sweeping movements from lane to lane like we see Wisp a lot more nowadays. Wow. The fact that you move from mid to off lane with the movement from Scarth and Nagasaran, it just cannot fulfill that same role.
Yeah, I mean, support play in general is just that's what I feel like is the big difference between Pro Dota now and Pro Dota maybe like a year and a half ago, is that the support play is just at such a higher level now. Supports are so active around the map, and as a result, the game it feels so much more fast-paced right now. It's really fun to watch. But yeah, I love this Naga Siren support pickup. Likely support pickup from Complexity, just because of the way that they play. One of the things, and I was talking to a couple of players about this the other night, that support Naga has been a little bit up and down over the last few weeks. I've seen some NA teams in particular pick the support Naga, really not get a lot of value out of it. And I feel like the support Naga, you have to get value out of Song in mid-game engagements. It's kind of an obvious statement, but it's really necessary for the hero to realize its potential. And the way Complexity plays, because they're always pushing, because they're always 5-manning, that free setup and that free disengage potential in Song, it really benefits their playstyle.
10 seconds
Now, the ban out of techies there, second time in a row. coL, don't want to give the techies Tusk combo. What was the stats of that? He's 8-1, right? Techies with Tusk?
Yeah, I haven't looked at it recently, but it's a pretty scary combo. I think it's a combo that I think techies in general, teams are sort of learning to play against the hero, but honestly, I just feel like there are a lot of situations where even if you can counter techies, you just don't want to, because the hero can prolong the game so much, and you already had kind of a drawn out first game. It is later at night for some of us. You just don't want to play a techies game right now, irrespective of the Tusk techies combo.
Let's go to 80 minute boy. 80 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Let's do it. The AM is banned out there, and I'm kind of wondering now, is it going to be Storm straight up picked by Boreal? Because Storm could still fit into Complexity's lineup. No,
I just feel like you've got to. I feel like you've got to have a plan, though, to protect the Storm mid. I mean, you do have the pieces in place to do that. Tusk is a hero, and also Wyvern for exactly the reasons that you mentioned. Those are two heroes that can get a lot done in terms of protecting mid early on, and you really do need that as running a Storm Spirit against a Lina, because Lina can really dominate that matchup. The thing that you've got to watch out for, we've seen Sumail do such a good job on his mid Lina, just anticipating the fact that he's usually going to hit 6 before the Storm and he gets a kill right away, but Boreal choose to go in a different direction. This is probably going to be a mid Zeus with the lineup that they got right now, and I like this. I think that it's sending it in a little bit of a different direction. This is Zeus can at least keep up and farm with the Lina, and because he can stay pretty far back and farm with his Arc Lightning around the time that Lina is going to be hitting 6, he's not as susceptible to just that insta-jib that can come out from her.
Often, Dire side against Lina, we'll see that TA pick come out in the second phase, just Ancients. You can go take Roshan relatively early with the Desolator if you go for that route. But yeah, you're right. The Zeus middle lane, he's got that 900 range Arc Lightning, can sit far back, but it also limits what Naga can do. Because she's not going to be able to get up into the creep wave, stand on light ground, stop the Zeus from farming. He can smack, and in almost every single game I see the Zeus against Lina combo.
Boy. And it sure is nice, isn't it, when the other team bans Anti-Mage for you?
Yeah. That's why I felt that they had to pick Storm in their pick right there, because Complexity can just go straight for it.
Yeah, and Storm, in fact, in a way, is actually more dangerous to Zeus than Lina is mid, because when he hits 6, has the tools to just get right up in Zeus's face without necessarily having to eat a couple of nukes on the way in. So yeah, I mean that's a really good pick by Complexity, and this again, it's why I love Lina openings so much in drafts right now. It's just because the hero, she is obviously an excellent mid, one of the top mids in the game. She's a great support when she has the right setup, and she can. We've seen Illidan, we've seen several teams. Fear has done it, run her in the safe lane farming role with some success as well.
We've also seen Yoku play Lina off lane.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's Yoku, so it kind of doesn't count. Yeah. He'll run any hero off lane, but yeah. No, I've actually heard a number of teams talk about that, having experimented with that in scrims. And the Rubik here is a decent counterpoint. Rubik is really come one of the heroes that's come back with a vengeance into the metagame since TI.
What do you think that is? Is it the prevalence of Earthshaker being picked up a lot, or is it just the fact you have this zoning support that has displacement, nuke, and I'm starting to feel now that Nullfield is like the spell.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think, I don't remember whether it was PPD or somebody else that was saying the other day, a couple of people, in fact, I've heard say it's kind of the era of the int heroes right now. And when you're talking about int heroes that get a lot of their damage from their spells, that's a key part of their skill set, Rubik's going to be really good. I mean, if you can position him well in these games, there are just a ton of heroes that he gets a lot of value from facing. I don't necessarily see it yet in this lineup. Obviously, Rubik can get Song, and that's great. Rubik with Ball Lightning isn't necessarily that great because he's not going to have a huge deep mana pool, but he's a very safe support pick. Now, this does also most likely move Tusk over into the off lane 3 position. I tend to favor a 4-role Tusk a little bit more, but Tusk can get quite a bit out of farm as well.
Yeah, you can into things like Blink, the Solar Crests, and Guardian Greaves. All good items over on that Tusk. I've been loving the Greaves builds on a lot of offlaners nowadays.
Yes.
Especially Clockwork. Like, not many people do this, but I've seen it from time to time. If you don't have a natural mech carrier on your team, I've seen Clocks, bypass Bottle, skip over Tranquils and Blade Mail, and actually go for Arcanes into Greaves just to give you that little bit more sustain. And
I'm telling you, and Complexity. So shift back, I was with the 3rd pick Storm, I was thinking more about Lina being moved over into the support position. Now most likely I think you're going to see a mid Lina and a safe lane Storm Spirit. Storm gaining traction as a safe laner lately, and I still like him a lot better in the mid lane, but he does require a lot less babysitting. top on the Dire side. So I think that's probably the way that you'll see complexity go here. And yeah, I mean, I do feel like they have the better draft at the moment, even though Rubik does have a fair bit to play with here.
You don't really see Boreal going for aggro try here, right? The Visage is instantly a deterrent, but Storm Spirit, he's pretty susceptible to aggro tries. But then you factor in the fact, Rubik, Winter Wyvern, and Tusk are not aggro heroes. There's no way they're going to shut down the Storm Spirit farming. So that kind of opens it up to Storm in a 1v1 against Tusk. Naga plus Visage with the minus armor they've got, the Ensnare, the Soul Assumption, and Lena's nukes. They've got setup and damage galore, so the Zeus, even though he's got that long range with Arc Lightning, he's still not going to be safe because Ensnare has a great range.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're going to aggro tri-lane as Radiant, one of two things has to be true. I mean, you have to believe that you just have a world-beating aggro tri-lane against their 3, or you have to be facing essentially a one core lineup. Last game, because of the way that Pizza Dad got shut down mid by Swindle, essentially Boreal had a one core lineup, and they were able to shut the PL down, and that was pretty much, it was pretty much the beginning of the end from very early on. The Spectre pickup here is interesting. It's something that obviously Ritsu's had some success on the hero. Another hero that a number of NA teams have been experimenting with lately. Again, though, I feel like I worry that this is going to be much the same as the previous game. Oh boy. Okay, never mind. Wow. There's a husky.
So now, I was speaking about aggro for Boreal not being a possibility. Aggro here from Complexity is, with Naga and Lena.
Oh yeah, and why wouldn't you? I mean, you have a Visage, right? I mean, as a Dire side, this is the thing that... Oh crap, I need to turn my mic off in game.
Prepare for battle.
So, safe lane Huskar, Storm mid, but Visage doesn't look like he's actually going down towards bottom lane, so maybe it's just the dual lanes where they run the Lena Naga down bot.
I think that's quite a bit more stable, but I would be really surprised if they don't. I mean, Huskar can do plenty well up here. And you lose a lot of value from the Visage, but Z-Freak's a pretty greedy 4-position player. He can make good use of the jungle.
So glad I said offlane Lena and just threw it out there.
Wow, that's so weird. I just don't know that without. I think you're gonna have to see these supports rotate down fairly early because she's not gonna be able to stand in lane against the combination of heroes of the Radiant side. I mean, she gets caught in ice shards once and she's dead.
What are Radiant doing?
Yeah, this is really. The move. Well, okay. I've already talked with Beep. We're cool.
Where are they going? Are they going to send 3 top for the Spectre? Because Spectre's gone poor man's. So it looks like they are going to move themselves up to top lane.
Battle begins.
Oh wow!
Stupendous!
They're going to aggro tri-lane around a Spectre. Okay. Yeah. I don't know about these lanes here, guys. You're going to aggro tri-lane into
a Visage
with a Spectre as your farming core. All right. I mean,
Huskar's moving bot.
Yeah, this is. I really do. I like this early smoke, though. I really do. I think you've got to. I think, especially with what happened in the last game, you got to take some chances here early, and they might.
By Zeus.
Oh. Okay. Did you see what I saw there? It just felt like it felt like Boreal supports kind of didn't see their smoke get popped. That was really odd movement from them.
Kind of walked over way too, poked his head down the ramp. I don't know if they got vision of him, but then they stood there for a little while like, oh crap, do we still go for this? Do we try and kill the Storm?
Right. I mean, Naga is obviously a really tough kill for them at level 1 because of the 6 armor. But it was just a couple of seconds of just kind of confusion there.
Wait two, not going to get this pull across. Rubik stops it, and the sentry will limit the stacking potential they've got as well.
Yeah.
But the combos they've got here, Huskar plus Visage, I guess they've got the Grave Chill to slow them down and allow Huskar to get a few more hits in with the Burning Spears. but Naga plus Lina. And Snare plus LSA and Dragon Slave. They've got these two really strong dual lanes. Mid lane, the Storm versus the Zeus. Feels Storm favored, just because Remnant can clear waves and shove it faster, harder than the Zeus can, then he can control runes a lot easier as well.
I mean, basically the thing you always look at with a Husker is anytime Husker is on a team where his team has better control in fights, he's just, oh my god, he's just such a beast. And I think that if Complexity play this right, they could have the better control in these fights, and that's just such bad news because it's not like Boreal had these huge sources of pure damage. I mean, Spectre's desolate, obviously, but yeah, unless the Spectre's not going to get big for a while in this game.
Yeah, and when you look at Huskar and his armlet toggling, oh god, the Radiant Courier died. Z-Freak actually moved himself over and got the snipe. Bottle?
Wow.
Been delivered though, but there's going to be no bottle ferrying for that Zeus for quite some time.
Yeah, and it's not just the bottle either. It's the gold. This is a lineup on the Dire side that because you're running a Spectre and she's going to take a while to get online, giving early gold to the enemy team is just somewhat is that much more dangerous. And of course, Storm's going to go ahead and pick up a regen rune because that rune is
at least he's
not any good on that hero.
At least he's not level 6 yet. That's
Good Lord.
all they'll take away from it. But yeah, when you're against the Huskar, you're kind of looking at armlet toggling and Berserker's Blood. Are there small instances of physical damage coming out of Boreal that can really screw that up and deal with it? No, not really.
Well, I mean, remember that Tusk gets that pretty good damage on his Walrus Punch. I mean, they can handle the Husker if they're ahead, but the problem is Boreal are in a situation where if they get behind at any point in the mid game, they're really in trouble.
They're actually moving the Rubik down, so it's this dual lane up at top. MJW, he's gotten his brown boots and he's going to TP himself away. Is there enough damage? He's going to take another 2 hits in there from Spectre, and there's definitely not.
Yeah, that's a good play by MJW. Just a very simple play, but the big thing is just not to give anything to this Spectre in lane.
And they're given Saga to level.
I mean, the Husker just gets so much more out of early gold than the Spectre does. I mean, like you said, that armlet, he's gonna have his armlet online in the next couple of minutes here, and that's just that item is just so amazing on Husker early game.
It's gonna be a really fast level 6 from singles as well, and he hasn't even taken his stack yet. He's gonna hit almost level 7 before at 4 minutes 30. Go and click the creep. Click. Hit the troll.
One more time. One more. Come on, Swindle. Do you not see it? Oh no.
I guess he wants to go back to base, regen, then go and find a kill somewhere. He's not worried about that.
Yeah, but he's gonna have 100 HP Troll Warlord sitting there blocking his spawn.
It's fine.
Or Dark Troll Summoner. I don't know. All right, so MJW is probably gonna feed a death here. Oh no, he survived.
Oh,
no.
Rubik comes in.
Come on, Drek. Oh man.
Actually,
what a hater.
That's interesting as well, the fact that Moon Meander is the Spectre in this game, and Drek was the Phantom Lancer last game. They had Crit standing on support last time around, but they've switched up their roles, so Drek is no longer on the 1 role, he's now switched to the 4.
Yeah, it's weird. They had this apparent because Moon tweeted this before the series. Apparently, they had this worked out that Crit was going to stand in for game 1, and then if they still needed somebody for games 2 and 3, that it was going to be Moon. So yeah, a little bit of a rivalry there. Him going against his old squad.
Yeah, he does. Armlet's done for the Husker.
God, this is just that is so scary.
But Radiant got first blood. They got the kill.
Yeah.
Have to deal with this Storm though, who is farming out his mind. What is his net worth? Like 6 minutes in, 3k, 3.2k. He's 300 ahead of the
just forget about it. I mean, this is a
Spectre.
Okay.
Why was Spectre under the tower?
I completely missed that because A, it's late for me, and B, yeah, I'm bad. But I wasn't expecting. I was not expecting that kill to happen.
Lina had a salve, so I'm guessing they dived and wanted another hit, and then he got ensnared. MJW salved up to full HP and turned and killed, is what I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's just devastating. Like I say, you really, as Boreal, you really need to play pretty tight right now.
Guess what rune the Storm just picked up? Oh, Lena! Oh, not quite. Level 2 and Desolate enough to finish him off, but Swindles. That regen rune not lasting too long, turns back to fight up against Jeppins, but did cancel out the regen.
Yeah, thank goodness. He's still, by the way, just going to come farm your camps, because that's what Storm does. Storm is like so the new Tinker. If we remember the era that Tinker was super mega annoying.
Been stacking Radiant jungle camps for the Spirit.
Of course.
They've actually been stacking both jungles for the Storm.
I mean, there's a reason that these guys are brothers. Like, you can tell it when they play. And Z-Freak, by the way, was... as much as I praised Fly's play in the qualifiers, I think Z-Freak was probably the best player on the team during TI5. He played some really, really good Dota.
People to play Enigma, right?
Yeah, well, the famous hidden refresher play, but even aside from that, I just felt like he played tight all of their games.
Really taking the tier 1 down at bottom lane. And Boreal gonna try and make something happen. So they've got 4 heroes up at top, the Zeus TPing away to refill bottle and get back to Fountain. But they're just not finding anything. You know, they've found 2 kills, but outside of that, there's no objective. They've got to sit back and bomb the Spectre up.
Yeah, they really need 6 on this Wyvern is what they need right now, because I don't see them, like, if Husker joins a fight right now, holy crap, what are they going to do to Husker outside of landing the Miracle Curse?
I honestly don't know.
Now, Husker, I mean, the hope, right, is that Husker he's ranged, but he's sort of short range. He's that 400 range hero. And Curse is one of those really kind of weird in-the-middle spells because it's really good against a ranged team, but not against necessarily all maxed range heroes because its radius is small. He's going to be able to get Husker in a Curse with teammates most of the time.
Then teammates finish him off. Does have to be careful when he's armor toggling like this. The Zeus ulti. I could look to try to finish it.
All right, I feel a little bit better. Demons in chat going, holy crap, why were you under the tower? So, all right, I don't feel so bad about whipping that kill.
Yep.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Loaded to the gill.
This Naga's done a good job now. Hit level 6, moving around the map. It hasn't, really made a massive impact, but just keeping the vision up and allowing the rest of the team to farm up has been really great. The Visit still sitting at level 5. Bottom lane really is the haven for Visage right now. Get up to level 6, and then you got things like Song into the birds dropping. You've got the Husker to fly forward with Solar. Just imagine Life Break plus Solar Song combo in itself is ridiculous. You can.
And also, I like this about the way that Way2 plays in general. Like if you remember when he used to play a really, really strong Shadow Shaman, he's very good on tempo controlling heroes. He's very good at sort of just moving around the map, dictating the pace of engagements, and not falling too far behind in levels.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, I mean, get this. They're going to be pushing it in multiple lanes right now.
Whoa. Spectre jumps up the top, and they've baited out. Winter's Curse now turn it back around, and they get the kill on the Huskar. Oh, that was interesting.
There's the hero curse, man. I mean, that is absolutely what you had to have happen as Boreal, and they pulled it off.
That bait, though. I've got to say, that bait, I did not expect it to work. Spectre goes in, gets Laguna Bladed, gets hit by the
and Tusk isn't done, man.
Oh, he wants the Lena. Life Striker Ray dodged out.
Oh, beautiful snowball.
Dire's top tower is
Good enough,
under
it's got Ice Shards in 3.
It's got 2.
To be able to find her. Life Striker Ray misses, that's it. Jeppins finds another. But yeah, that bait from the Spectre. Haunting in, baiting out Laguna Blade and the hits from the Huskar. Just enough time for the Wyvern to come in and get that curse. But that was just beautiful play.
That was a really strong sequence from Boreal, and I really like the individual play from Jeppins on the back end there to pick off the Lena. I mean, that's the enemy offlaner. That's a core that you just solo picked off as a Tusk. And wow!
Can he even kill him? Yeah, there we go.
Burning Spears, even if he makes it to the fountain.
Can you armor toggle? Nope, you cannot.
Oh, just a little bit too late from Peter. Oh, man.
Done. Got the steal available, Drek.
Oh, the Miracle Shards!
Way2's dead as well here. So Ball now picks him up as well. Spectre under the tower this time. It's good though. MTW with Life Strike Ray not going to do a damn thing.
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, sorry. And unfortunately, Naga let her Weight Watchers subscription expire and can no longer fit through the shards. So, not going to happen there.
That was the dumbest thing ever.
No kidding, it was. I couldn't believe it. And I was shout out to OD, by the way, for knowing that when it happened live in a game. I couldn't believe that.
Denied.
Reddit threads were real. There are a couple of heroes that have weird collision sizes. Like
I am so impressed right now, though, by Boreal, because when you looked at this, you know, at 9 minutes, I mean, a 2K, 2.5K gold lead or so isn't massive, certainly, but, you know, Complexity has a lineup with a lot of early game potential. At about 9 minutes, it really looked like they were just going to snowball away with this thing, and maybe not end the game early, but effectively put the game out of reach like they did in game one. And Boreal's really made a couple of very clean sequences of plays here to bring the gold back in their favor. And this is really, really big, given their lineup.
Yeah, like Spectre's up top of the net worth. With base drums, 1300 gold. What do you expect from the Spectre, though? Do you still want to go the Radiance build here against...
I think you have to. I mean, if you're going to pick Spectre, I just think I mean, she's going to go Diffusal now that I say that, but yeah, I think if you're going to pick Spectre, you got to go Drum Radiance.
Okay. I mean, the miss chance is good against the right-clickers of Huskar and Storm. Oh god, the fighter bot. Zip out from Swindles. There are shards will catch, but the snowball, I'm not sure about this one. Spectre's picked up, but they're Light Strike around too, and now the Laguna Blade to turn it. The Spectre in a rough situation, even with MJW dropping low. I don't think that the Tusk even can finish with the Zeus ult. They can, but they're going to lose the Tusk in exchange.
Gosh.
Good old trade there for the Dire.
And this is again the problem. Wow, what? Okay, Tranquil Boots.
We used to see him forever when he played Huskar, and pretty good for the regen in between fights. Oh god, he's still alive. He's still got the armor toggle.
Oh yikes!
That's unfortunate.
Oops. We're just gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. But yeah, the Tranquil Boots is good for, you know, obviously you go in for a fight, you kill someone, you're on 0 HP because you're armlet toggling and you go down to 0. Then Tranquils is you go into the jungle and lifesteal up, pick them back up, and heal yourself back to sort of 70%.
Well, and it's also actually the 4 armor is really good. Yeah. Early armor is really, really good on Huskar. And you get a lot of value from that, but and you don't need the attack speed from treads, but I'm still all about staying on brown boots on this hero.
We even used to see Greaves, like Guardian Greaves for Huskar.
Oh yeah, Greaves Huskar is amazing.
The most legit thing I've ever seen. Giving us
like that build is really, really strong.
The Arcane's still expensive. I'm pretty sure is it Mushi that we saw build the mech on Huskar? I can't even remember.
I think that's... Oh, God. Now I'm going to have to go look that up. Oh, screw it. It's late. I'll let somebody else do it.
Twitch chat, go.
Come on, one of you standard deviants. I know you guys are watching. But no, I mean, I think it goes... You were commenting on this earlier that that sort of Greaves has become more of a core item because it's so good in the mid game. And even though the original intent was arguably to have it be a support item to prevent supports from being so slot capped as they accumulate small items throughout the course of the game, but it's become more of a core item just because, or at least an item for greedy supports, because it's just so good around 25 minutes.
Look out from the Radiant, not going to come to anything. The Dire go back to farming Ancients, sitting back a little bit here, and they really have to at this point. They are behind. Loads of kills anyway. Net worth-wise, yeah, there's not too much in it. They're slightly ahead, 500 gold experience, really negligible. Z-Freak, love to have Ags up, get himself a lot more utility. Do you want to see Agnes first on the Visage, or do you want Solar Crest? Because Solar Crest on Huskar is ridiculously strong.
Crest, every not even close, man. That item is so just, especially, you tick down the checklist, man. They're dire. They have a hero like Huskar. I mean, this is Visage, who gets all kinds of farm anyway. It's not even close. Early Solar Crest, you put it on this Huskar, and you just watch him kill the entire enemy team.
1v5 them all. Okay. Well, Valina, not really making great strides towards a Yule Scepter or anything like that. But Boreal, they
Oh, she's got to go Ags.
Yeah.
She absolutely has to go Ags here. And all right, she's off lane, yeah, and where she is right now, no, I take that back. She is going to get heals. But I really would like Ags against their lineup because again, they're a lineup where you delete the Spectre from the fight, and even if Boreal wins the fight, they're not getting that much out of it.
Gasha on the spec.
Yeah, that's real. It's a farming item for her. It's not bad in engagements. It's kind of a compromise, but I really don't like it.
Like middle of the whoa, Spectre gonna find the Lina, finds the kill.
Okay.
Oshan's still gonna get taken out here though. It looks like I don't see them contesting with Pizza Dad on the top lane. His name every time.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't question so much because if you look at it, if they can feed her haunts like that, you know, she's got max Desolate. She gets a lot out of that attack speed.
Yeah. It's a road item, you know, it allows you to farm, fight, but also the armor's pretty good as well. Against the right clicks out from, you know, Lina, Huskar, and Storm Spirit. Sure, they've got modifiers like Overload and Burning Spears, but still going to give you a little bit of survivability. Not too bad. And then if you've got like a Winter's Curse down on someone, you want that attack speed to come thick and fast. Storm.
I just feel like you're not picking a Spectre to go anything other than Radiance.
Maybe. I'm not sure you can. Maybe Ensnare is a little bit scary. You want to try and dodge that.
Meanwhile,
Huskar in the Roche pit. Yep, that's where it belongs.
Just kill me now. Aegis on Huskar, and they get a song trapping 3 heroes. This is 4 heroes. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, stun, kill, death, destruction, Laguna Blade even to finish him off. Snowball on the back end will find the Nagasar and hope, but the Huskar 1-5-1. Life break.
Yeah, this is the point in a pub where you just uninstall the game. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like Huskar is 1-3-2, but he's still 1v5ing you all. Drek now, he's gonna get stunned up by the birds. Dizzy takes a Thunderbolt to the face, but you know, it does like 50 damage even though it's level 4.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
I mean, Huskar is Broodmother, man. It's a hero that you either have what you need in your lineup to deal with it or you don't, and if you don't, you're just gonna hate that game. And unfortunately, Boreal right now, in the state of farm that they're in, just don't.
What's he going next? Is he going Halberd for himself? Oh, 4 staff. They've got the curse as well. Dizzy trapped here, but good stuns down from the birds. Familiars hold him in place. Now, I'll not toggle through. He's still got the Aegis, of course. I cannot forget that. They cannot commit for a kill on the Huskar that's going to come back to life and literally rip you all apart. Maybe they'll find this one though. Boris punch? No, not yet. There we go. Finds the hit, but Dizzy's still alive. The kill off the Nagasar and Lina dead as well. Huskar drops. He can turn.
But now, oh, by the way, Mr. Red Spear guy is back.
Oh, by the way, you forced staff to be even close to the rest of your team. And Storm Spirit is farming the jungle over to the side. It's not a great trade for complexity there, but the amount of pressure that they are applying, like top lane tier 1 drops, no one's farming that wave. The Spectre, who wants to be farming, is fighting. And it's actually going for S and Y.
Oh my goodness. Again, it's a situation where you're making the most of the situation that you're in. Boy, I really can't talk tonight. And it's not, I guess it's not a bad item choice given the circumstance. They're trying to salvage the best chance that they have to win the game. They know that with the Huskar just balling out of control, the Spectre is going to have to fight. Still.
Huskar is 4-2 with Tranquil Boots and 6.84.
Yeah.
3 of those games.
3 of those games are by forever. Oh, yeah. Corporal British having my back. Yeah, and that does not surprise me at all.
Yeah. Solar Crest up on Z-Freak though, so you're right, and he's even got a point. He's got a point booster on top of this.
Jeez, I mean this is
like
this is AUI level of farm on Visage.
If Huskar is annoying enough to deal with, how do you kill this guy? Because level 4 Grace, like watch this, Tusk goes in, punches, and now what? Spectre has to come in and hit him as well. They need commitment of Zeus ulti. Spectre to run in there. That's 3 heroes to kill a support.
But that's okay. I mean this is sort of what Na'Vi used to do when they ran Havosh on Spectre. They would feed him haunt kills. They would just feed his Spectre, and they would invest a lot of resources to get him individual kills. But that's that's okay, because if the Spectre can farm and get fed kills and get ahead, it pays it all back. But he's staring down the barrel of a farmed Storm Spirit and a Husker, neither of which the Force Staff first Zeus is going to really do anything to.
At least with a Black Dagger, you can disjoint the Husker life break. If you go,
I mean, this Husker's gonna have Halberd.
Yeah,
like he's gonna have Halberd, and he's gonna have Solar Crest evasion. Which, I mean, yeah, okay, they only stack multiplicatively, but that's still almost 50% evasion on a Husker who is dealing out ridiculous damage. And oh, by the way, your Spectre just got deleted from the game.
Yeah, they baited it out a little bit with Swindle sort of zipping back and forth. They wanted to try and commit for the kill on Storm. Lena just comes in and takes the kill pretty easily. Looks like Z-Freak. He's gonna get punched into the air here, but he's got the birds. Can he micro them well enough? Nope. Not gonna stun them. Doesn't get the kill on Drake.
Okay, that's just mean. Using Solar Crest offensively on the Rubik. Like, come on. The poor guy's squishy enough.
Invisibility.
Give me a break.
I'm just wondering, like, Halberd here is really good for the Husker. You can obviously disarm the Spectre when she jumps in. But
well, it's the double value. It's the disarm on the Spectre, and it's the evasion to go with the Solar Crest. Like, what are you gonna do? Walrus Punch you can miss on a Walrus Punch, can't you?
Cannot miss, no.
You cannot miss. Okay, that at least is something, but still
unevadable. Well,
I wasn't sure. I knew the obviously the proc, the disable proc will always go off. But I wasn't sure whether the attack damage could miss or not. But that's why I've got you, Durka.
Oh, yeah.
And Ziz is about to... Oh, gosh.
Shadowblade, yeah.
Shadowblade with no reveal.
He's actually got Silver Edge. The Tusk has rushed Silver Edge and has it.
And that's a big, big deal. So, okay, I did not... Man, oh man, that's a really big miss by me not seeing that coming. I didn't realize that the Tusk was doing that well. But a Silver Edge Rush is absolutely... I mean, obviously, for those of you that don't necessarily know, that disables Berserker's Blood. So all of a sudden, if you hit Husker with that, when he's already low HP, Zeus can ult and bye-bye Red Spear guy.
I kind of liked... He had the Yasha. Mantis style would have been pretty good against the Husker, just having those illusions and the Desolate to try and deal with him in, a sort of a vacuum scenario where she maybe is 1v1. But S&Y, I guess tacking up is pretty good as well, just trying to beef yourself against the Laguna Blade, because that's up to level 2.
Ugh.
Lena's making a Bloodstone. They're actually aiming a little bit later into this game. Wait, was that Thundergod's Wrath? No. They're just going to scout, smoke up and try and find someone here. Over in the dire jungle. Z-Freak is that hero. Maybe towards mid they'll find MW. Pizza Dad is there. Lightning Bolt. He used something a little bit more with a Haunt and Thundergod's Wrath. There's the kills. Zizzy is being haunted as well. He's got his Reaver. He does not have Halberd any other toggles.
Very nice.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, yet again, Boreal doing what they absolutely have to do to stay in this game. I mean, they're still... I still don't like their chances, even though the gold lead is not that big for complexity. But, Boreals keep this at bay for another 5-10 minutes or so, and the complexion of this game can change dramatically.
Dying like that. I was wondering this before, if he does skip over Halberd and go into Satanic. It looks like he is. But I like the...
Oh, boy.
More. Maybe he's
That's
seen the
just...
Silver Edge and decided...
It's just awfully greedy. I mean, it's going to look great if it works, but at the end of the day, if you get disabled at the wrong times, I mean, you're not going to have you do this, you're not going to have BKB for a while, and all of a sudden, they build a Yules on the opposing team, and you just get Yules when you activate your Satanic.
I forgot to update the stream. It still said Scant was casting with.
Let the fun begin.
That's okay.
You are.
I've been confused for worse people.
Like who?
Dancing. Oh, the shots. Oh, the shots.
Who have you been taken for?
My mother taught me that if I can't say anything nice about someone, Grant.
Pizza Dad up at top.
I'm kidding.
Zeus. Bye. Bloodstone. Charges dropping pretty quickly. Jeffins.
Z-Freak about another K or so off of his Ags.
to go for the Swindles. He's been stunned up, but he's got mana to go.
I'm telling you, Jeppin's playing without fear in this game, and he's really been a big part of what's keeping them in this.
Here's this
I mean, you look at it, and it feels like Spectre in some ways has had a rough game, but I mean, they've fed him 7 kills.
7, 3, and 7, yeah. Oh yeah, he does go for the Manta. So he splits the S and Y into Manta and Sand, but I don't know. Do you go Halberd on Spectre? Oh god, what have they found? The Storm. You get the vision of him. Bring him down with that haunt forward, but now Moon. Glimmer caped up by Trek. The dust is not going to be enough, and Way2 doesn't want to pop Song here to try and catch.
Actually, this is another. So I said Yules a minute ago, but this is another situation. Especially once you believe that the Husker is going satanic. You know, he's not going to have a BKB for a while. You halberd him. What's that satanic do?
Yeah. Done. Husker. I haven't really seen the strength of him, and when he's in the river like...
Yeah, I mean, this he has not done enough with the window that he's had.
He'll survive through this. Oh, no you cannot.
Oh my goodness.
He definitely hasn't, like, he's died, what, 3 times in a row now? He is 3, 5, and 2. He's still strong, but he just is not going to make the openings that he needs to. He's been farming the Ancients for the past like 8 minutes. And
it's just really bizarre given Complexity's playstyle. This is not their comfort zone in terms of the way that they want to play Dota. Just hanging back and farming like this, and they had a massive lead. They had a lineup that is pretty darn good 5-manning. They had an Aegis on Husker at one point, and they never really took the game by the throat.
I'm over here.
Oh, Storm now zips forward. He's seen the Winter Wyvern. The Glimmer Cape done. Okay, dust from Swindles. Finally gets himself a kill. Up to 9 Bloodstone charges now. He's got mana also to try and jump himself away. The Lina is up here on the front lines, but Telekinesis and Jeppins with the punch. They've got the damage, but do they have the lockdown? Swindles dropping low and finished off.
Wow.
The Spectre finds the kill. And with that Zeus ulti, they actually allow themselves the Ice Shard. Traps in 4. And it's nothing really to follow through on here.
And this is where, again, the complexion of a game like this can turn so quickly partly because Complexity was ahead so much, they haven't built BKBs on their cores. And because you have no BKBs, all of a sudden the fights are a lot more evenly matched. I mean, Boreal has seized a 1k gold lead now, and you don't have the item that allows you to get around that Zeus damage.
Yeah, you're going to TP quick here. Storm spots him out, and Moon tries to fight through this one, but he spent a lot of time up on his top lane or the spot lane farming. Got to expect movement in. That's a free kill where you really should not be giving away your life.
Yeah, just look at Storm lost like 75% of his health there, just from bursting down the Spectre with Dispersion and the Spectre attacks. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, add in the Haunt, add in the real Spectre fighting against the Storm Spirit, who he's got a decent mana pool, but he really needs to start building up, HP, armor, stats, anything he possibly can. Shiva's Guard, really going to be his next go-to item, I think. So with Roshan dropping, Huskar, it's not that he needs this.
I think you have to. I think you have to start thinking about BKB here on Storm.
Yeah.
I think you need I honestly think you need BKBs on Storm and Husker's stat, although the Aegis is certainly not a bad substitute on your Husker. Oh, on the Storm rather, okay. Yeah. Of course you give it to the Storm at this point.
So you've got Satanic now finished for the Husker, so at least he has that pseudo second life, regen yourself back up as long as you're not disabled. There's a ton of disables here from the Radiant.
Right, exactly. And there can be more. That's the whole problem.
Haunt. Got it out the Visage, slowed with the Arctic Burn, but
it's a good song.
Trapped 4 in the song. Are they setting up for this? Because Zizzy, he's on the front lines here. They've got the Winter's Curse, the Sunstorm, the Winter Wyvern now on the back end. He can't really do anything. Maybe when the Orchid runs out, Snowball now back onto the Husker, and there's the Curse, trapping in the Husker. He can't survive through it, or can he? He turns back, but no time to regen up or armor toggle or anything like that. They do get a 3-for-1 exchange though. Whittles still has a second life, up to 10 Bloodstone charges now. They get the Visage down. Comes out from this Lina doing pretty damn well. They kill off the Spectre slowly but surely. Tusk finds the trade-off though, and he's on a triple kill.
Man, this Tusk is just saving the game for his team. And I really feel like Complexity, the whole of Complexity, played that fight like Ziz had the Aegis, not Swindle.
Yeah.
It looked to me, it seriously looked to me like at least one moment in that fight, I mean, Ziz was the one that basically jumped into the whole enemy team up the steps leading into the dire jungle and said, oh, I'm a Husker, YOLO. Oh, wait, oops, I'm not the one that has the extra life.
Yeah, it's that situation I was talking about. He popped Satanic and then he got disabled. Didn't have that regen to get himself back up and running. Now, Orchid, countered out by the Glimmer Capes, the little birdies, do stun up the Rubik, but Swindles. He's got up to 10 Bloodstone charges, but he hasn't really found the rhythm of the game. He hasn't found the places to farm, to hide, to jump onto these lonely supports. And Blitz often talks about it. A lot of Storm's strength is hiding in like the enemy jungle, or farming somewhere where they can't see you. The threat of the jump is often more powerful than the actual jump itself.
Yeah,
the fear
he's effectively what he is he's a hero that just can control really large portions of the map. I mean, it's not just the flash farming and the ability to just do stacks so efficiently that leads me to compare him to what Tinker used to be. It's the fact that he's just a hero that can control large zones of the map by himself, and it makes him very, very difficult to deal with without a coordinated team.
To his strength with Silver Edge as well.
Wow. You know what? I wondered about that when he sat on that casual Sanj for a very long time. I actually feel like the Halberd is better once you already have a Silver Edge on the team.
I think so too. Because you've got the Tusk to go in there, Silver Edge up the Huskar, and then the Halberd is obviously there to stop the Huskar from ripping you apart. Added maybe the evasion kind of plays counterintuitively with the dispersion, but I don't know. It's a weird one. Yeah, he does with it. It's definitely a more aggressive play, right? You don't get the defensive options of the evasion and the disarm, but you do have the aggressive options of the movement forward with the invis. Look for that hit. I guess you can use the Silver Edge to try and run away, but the amount of dust that the Dire have been carrying, there's sentries over in the Naga, there's dust on the Visage, and Storm has a gem. Okay, Storm has a gem. You're not going to be able to run away with that Shadow Blade.
Yeah, I just want to really quickly plug the performance by Jeppins one more time, because the more that I look at this game and look at the network distribution, like he's not poor, but he's done so much with what he's had to work with the whole game.
What's that?
Yeah, it was one of those scouting ultis that I think are getting. It was a really cool idea the first couple of times I saw it, but I think they're now getting overused.
Right out there.
I mean, that's still a lot of damage, guys.
Yeah. It's 450 mana. Its cooldown is not that bad, 90 seconds. But when a fight comes like this, you just use your ulti to scout people
exactly.
out. You don't know where they are. Then this hits you. The song onto the Zeus and the Rubik, the birds. Can you time it? This is going to be perfect. They're not going to stun, but they will get Drek. Kill on a Rubik for a Naga song, not entirely worth it unless they can find more. And with Swindles, the gem, he sees the task. That's the kill. They've got him with the Orchid Burn and Mega Kill Streak taken out of the hands.
Yeah, I jinxed him so hard with that. Poor Jeppin. I'm sorry, but yeah, the problem with it now is that, especially with the Silver Edge, 2 Silver Edges now up on Boreal, that Zeus ult is so significant. Once they know that's down, that Husker can go ham like he could 10 minutes ago.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Well, his Bloodstone down to 3 charges. It still obviously tanks him up a decent amount, gives him that spam capability to keep launching lightning bolts and the arc lightning, but
yeah, that's called backdoor protection, guys.
Yes, Glyph popped, and now no Glyph for 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was a interesting use of Glyph there. Given that they were, at the time that they glyphed, they were hitting the tower with backdoor protection and doing nothing.
What they were thinking. Haunts? They want the... Wait, what? Is he gonna jump to this and then go invis? Oh, he wants Z-Freak. He's not gonna get it though, the stuns from the birds. The Spectre just wasted Haunt. He had a decent,
Gosh.
so you know it's good effort, I guess.
Okay, I have nothing to add to that.
Nope.
Good effort, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Why not? Give him,
I bet
give him-
Swindle does. You know, thank goodness he's gotten his BKB. He's made good progress to his next item. This Storm is definitely back on track, up atop the leaderboards in net worth, where you expect a 6.84C Storm to be, and he's had a good impact on this game now.
What is the Husker build? Bring over Halberd completely, actually. Oh, plate mail. So, I'm guessing AC, but it could be a Lotus Orb.
I was just gonna say Lotus Orb would be so hilarious. I want to see Lotus Orb Winter's Curse, but
Yeah.
yeah, like AC. I mean, even Shivas is honestly not
Bottom tower has fallen.
not completely horrible. He gets a lot of value out of the armor.
It's kind of 90% AC, 9% Lotus Orb, and then 1% Shiver's Gallop.
Yeah, I think that's about right. AC is obviously the item. Although, I don't know. I always feel a little bit awkward getting attack speed of any kind on Husker just because he gets so much attack speed from his passive. You do max out on attack speed rather quickly.
It's always a great high ground pushing item, though.
It's true. That's true.
Vendel has a Gem still and Spectre. Team behind him, so it's going to count his lucky stars. He didn't get jumped on and picked off. But MJW, he didn't actually go for that Bloodstone. He got the Soul Ring and the Point Booster, then back into Yule Scepter. And I'm wondering if he still goes for the Bloodstone, or if it's just straight Aghanims now. Because I don't really see Bloodstone being that effective this late.
No, I mean you're not going to get value out of it anymore as a farming item. You're going to be high enough level where you're going to have a big enough mana pool. You're not so concerned about the mana regen anymore. The respawn time needs to be nerfed anyway. God, I hate that. So yeah, I know. I do think we're back in the situation where he goes Ags. That's one of the big 6.85 nerfs I want to see. By the way, I want to see Bloodstone respawn reduction scaled back to like 2.5 seconds of charge.
I've been calling this 8-3 that both buybacks and Bloodstone had to be nerfed. Bloodstone didn't get touched, and then TI5 is just like Storm on Leshrac.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the Shivas on your Stormsphere, and I actually do feel like they have. I feel like they may wait for Husker, but I don't think they should. I feel like they've got what they need right now for a high ground push.
I want to see what Visage picks up. He saved up a ton of money, and this really is AUI level to farm. Like 3,500 gold on Z.
Yeah,
right now.
that was the other thing. So I didn't want to spend too much time talking about it, but he's going to go, okay, he's going to go Sheep. That makes sense. For the Spectre.
Spectre.
Although, man, that's another thing that people don't talk about. Like, Sheep actually lost so much of its value now that it no longer disables evasion and no longer disables most passives.
Yeah, it basically just turns into a little piggy that moves slowly.
To the dial.
A little bit of a disable, but it's a decent stat item. You get a bunch of intelligence, a bunch of mana regen and stuff like that from it. And it's the.
I mean, the disable's obviously still really good. It's just that was it ended up being like a huge stealth buff to AM. Like AM no longer fears Sheepstick like he used to.
Yeah. It's just that instant cast, long range, well, decent range disable that you get from it's always useful. Of course, you're not going to go Abyssal Blade on a Visage or anything like that. You know, Blink Abyssal Blade Visage is going to be pretty interesting.
Interesting that we are gonna see those greeds that we talked about finally from Naga here in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Glimmer, Greaves, then probably mobility item, Force Staff or Blink, something like that for the Nagasar, and get the Blink song going. But complexity, you know, they are still behind in terms of kills. Net worth, though, they've really started to pull away. The past 3 or 4 minutes, they've got themselves a good 7,500 net worth lead, and it really shows in the items. You know, we've just been mentioning item after item, they're getting really pretty far ahead of Boreal here. The Zeus is falling off heavily. That's the big one.
Yeah, that's the. I completely agree with that. It's not, you know, when I talk about stats and you talk about net worths, it's not it's not the total net worth advantage. It's where that net worth is.
Yeah.
And in this case, you're getting 2 cores on coL that are really hitting critical mass, where I mean your Spectre is doing okay, but your Zeus is really falling behind, and Jeppins, as much as he has done to keep his team in the game, you know, they don't really have the composition where he's gonna be able to farm. God, it just
What are you cringing at?
I just am cringing at the, like, every single member of Boreal has invis. You have 3 Glimmer Capes and 2 Silver Edges.
And then 1 gem on the Naga.
Yeah. Actually, and interestingly enough, Swindle was carrying a gem not that long ago, and he gave it up for the Aegis.
And he was running around scouting the Spectre. And that's the thing, the Spectre really couldn't use that Silver Edge aggressively at all. The Storm was always there, ready to scout him out. And they're not going to push it too hard here. Oh, the TP bot has been cancelled, actually. They've spotted out the Spectre and they want to go and kill him. There's the Vision. Flying Vision, Shiva's Guard, and the Storm zip-zapping over. Orchid, not good enough mana to actually chase this further. And
I don't think it's worth chasing her. Like, why? I mean, fine, they got away. Kill the enemy base.
Got no TP, but yeah, Dagger is just going to keep on coming off cooldown. Are they still hunting the Spectre? Like, the thing is, they know that he's just bought Skadi. They've seen this. They know what.
And they have no detection. Like, okay, well, Lena's got dust, and that was actually, never mind. That was actually pretty close.
If they'd killed that Spectre there with no buyback, that's probably a tier 3 and maybe Rax.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you let the Spectre do what the Spectre's gonna do, and you just go push lanes. I mean, you've lost a lot of momentum from doing that. You know, that 40 seconds of chasing Spectre around the map. Now that's time that you could be pushing lanes in, that you could be attacking the base. I mean, obviously, yeah. Once you know Spectre doesn't have the buyback, sure, you go ahead and maybe you try to chase.
Yeah, the end results.
So this is the part where you can tell I've been playing too many pubs with teammates chasing AM around the map when we could be pushing towers.
We can catch him. We can catch him.
Permit me my bitterness. Permit me my salt. Watching too much of PPD's stream or something.
Caught up in those moments as well. Just like, I know we need to kill this guy at some point in the next couple of minutes, and this is our chance, but it just keeps blinking away. It's even worse when you know, like, their TP is on cooldown, or they don't have buyback, or, you know, there are these factors that you know could win the game for you if you just... Oh, Storm! Rex has the ball, lightning. Dulls.
Oh, nice chain of stables. Okay.
Perfect. Got the secondary life though, and his team is actually coming in here to try and save him, but yeah, Boreal, they don't commit for this. They don't want to spend any lives to get a secondary kill on a Storm.
And Spectre now with the Scotty completed is getting her split push on a little bit more. This game's still not at all out of reach for Boreal. This is very, very different from the last match, which felt like it was decided very early and then just dragged on and on, because in all fairness, it is hard to push high ground against Alina, AA, and Earthshaker. But this is still a winnable match for both sides.
And equally, it's hard to push high ground against the Winter Wyvern, Tusk, and the Spectre, because if the Spectre has buyback and Haunt, you never know when you're going to get hit. They smoke themselves up into the dire jungle, but coL, they've grouped up over on their Ancients. And this is where Swindle should be, really. Farming enemy jungle, with an Observer Ward watching, you know, 3 little pathways through. He doesn't know where anyone is, but they don't know where he is either, and the Glimmer Cape from Zeus, so indicative of the fear there. You don't know where a single hero from Complexity is. You know, the Zeus has, you know, 2,500 mana. His mana pool is absolutely crazy. Could jump on you at any moment. Do they have Invis over on Complexity? They've got Glimmer on the Naga Siren. This is done over on the Visage, actually. So that's fully completed now.
Yeah, that was like, that was a fairly recent completion about a minute ago, and kind of waiting to unveil that in a fight. It's also it also makes it so that Spectre can't just jump on you.
Oh, do they see the Spectre?
Oh, no.
Got the deny on the tower though.
been
The Winter Wyvern managed to blink himself away just at the right moment. The Shiva's Guard plus Storm actually zipped in and nearly caught a glimpse, but didn't see the Wyvern and himself out. Now, Rubik is another hero that's farmed pretty nicely as well. Blink, Glimmer, Random Scepter started with the point booster picked up, and the Radiant supports are actually looking pretty healthy on gold.
Yeah, no, I mean they've had these triple Glimmer Capes up from fairly early on, and that really gives you a lot of value in terms of surviving in these engagements. And that I mean, as obvious as it is, like that's your major way of accumulating farm on your supports, guys. Stay alive in these team fights. You know, with the golden XP bounties, you get a lot out of that.
Oh, Swindle.
Wow.
TP. He can TP. He's gonna complete. Oh, freaking way.
Not bad.
That was inch perfect, honestly. Now,
Not bad. I'm telling you, Swindle. I think a lot of people that dislike the guy would change their tune if they met him in person. He's a really cool guy, and he is. You cannot. If you meet him for like 30 seconds, one thing that you will never question is his motivation. He's got a hell of a drive, and I think his mechanics are going to improve a lot very quickly. I think they already have.
Like, if you compare him to someone like Sumail, you know, he's not up there, but he's not mechanically bad at all. A pretty gifted player. I mean, that was very tight, butt-clenching moment, probably. Like, I hope I escape here.
Yeah.
I really hope I don't die. Right now, he's going to TP towards middle lane, I think, with the Spectre popping Mantle already. Dizzy still has the cheese, and they jump forward. Storm looking for the Vortex, but doesn't quite find it onto the Storm, who Glimmer Capes and forces away. But here they have to be careful of that curse. The Winter Wyvern with a blink always has that initiation tool, and they okay, they've got resummon. They've got resummon on the familiars, so they're okay to keep pushing in here. Swindle Song from way to set the fight, but with no HP really on that Storm Spirit. I don't think you want to jump in here. It's actually the Radiant that are looking for the go. Huskar caught and taken out. He's dead already. Storm looking for the kill on the back end, but that's Laguna Blade not doing a good amount as Steppin's glimmered up and healed, but still finally killed off Spectre, running through them all. On a third of his HP, still outlasting pretty much everyone as Alina is picked, thrown down, duels into the air to try and save herself, but denied from the Bloodstone. All she can do in the end.
And at the end of the day, I thought the Husker heal might be enough. But yeah, at the end of the day, that was decided by the fact that the Storm got down to very low HP very early in that fight, and never really could jump in the middle of things quite as much as he wanted to. He was able to sort of get in there, but he was taking hits from the Spectre, and eventually had to BOT out and leave his team.
The Spectre did die there, but it was the Visage that took the kill in the end. The trade-off with your Lina is building up into this third core. She's got Bloodstone BKB. You want her to be lasting through these fights. Huskar keeps getting caught. You know the Winter Wyvern curse is coming. You've got to position yourself a little bit better. And Song, Glimmer Cape, do everything you can. I really think you have to save the Glimmer on the Naga just for that. Because the Huskar, if he gets hit by curse and finished off at a low threshold of HP...
Agreed.
Really can't
Agreed.
turn
No,
and win the
I'm
fight.
actually a little bit surprised. I think you would have gotten value out of another Glimmer Cape on the Dire side, and I'm a little bit surprised. You know, obviously they're going to get some good use out of the Scythe on Visage, but I feel like 2 Glimmer Capes would have been really good on Dire, and Swindle just doing Storm Spirit things.
Easy solo pick-off in the Radiant jungle. And they definitely have prepped themselves for even more pushes. Star Observer wards, you know, they've been built up towards mid, top, and in the Radiant jungle. But they need to refresh these.
Actually, so I like the sheep on Boreal actually a little bit more than I like the sheep on Visage, because Storm and Husker both are really, really vulnerable to those disables, and it's Swindle quite a ways off as Lincolns.
The late diffusal blade out there from the Spectre. After Skadi, after Manta, after Silver Edge.
What just happened?
Diffusal.
Why did Zeus?
Wait, Zeus died?
Why did Zeus just suicide in the middle of the jungle with no one around him?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I also want to ask, why did Rubik ball lightning into a Storm Spirit when he had no teammate around him?
Oh my god.
Is that just like is that a throw moment? Like, oh god, my Zeus is suicided, I'm gonna go and suicide as well? Like one of those
so.
Fortified.
funeral pyre where you just go and burn yourself and die.
And
with your loved
I
one?
must be like just on crack and Storm was right there or something, but wow. I mean, that's gonna what in the world has happened in the last minute or so?
I'm really confused, and Elena Rax just falls for it.
I mean, Boreal just like for the first 45 minutes of this game are just like clawing to keep themselves alive, and then all of a sudden, two what the hell plays, and you give up Elena Rax without really being able to contest. Okay,
Well,
that just happened.
well, like there's a third thing here as well. Like before those two weird moments happened, the Spectre picked up a diffuser blade, and I'm still unsure about that pickup. 52 minutes in, I just don't see the value. Still cursed up. Telekinesis will secure the kill. Do get a nice little pick off there.
Actually, I actually don't mind it. You're up against. Well,
Okay, Spectre's gone in here.
now I mind it.
Now he's hexed up, stunned. Oh, the refresh, the bring back of the familiars. Great play by Z-Freak, honestly.
I mind it now that you do that, where with a heart there you might live, but
You have no buyback on Spectre.
in principle, remember, Diffusal is no longer an orb. It's no longer unique, so it does stack with Scotty, and you're getting a lot of value out of it in terms of just dealing damage to the Storm Spirit. But yeah, that's... I mean, you then can't go and get killed like that, as obvious as it sounds.
But Butterfly, AC, Heart, like Abyssal Blade? Well, I would prefer Abyssal Blade here. Or
Abyssal,
Bastion.
sure, yeah. Abyssal's better for sure.
Maybe he just didn't think he had time to get it, so Diffusal Blade was the goat. Jeppins? Yeah, you've got to buy back here. You're losing a second line of ranks. The Desolator on the Lena, ripping apart, shredding up these buildings as Sissy just walks up. He's got Aegis now, so they can play the game that they wanted to 30 minutes ago, where he walks up and says, hey, I'm a Huskar. I can 1v5 you all. This game has gone south very, very
Just
quickly.
I still am struggling with the tempo of this game because I thought Boreal might just find a way to pull this out, and it's just kind of like they got tired.
I honestly thought that they actually could win this
Yeah, I did too.
if they just held out. Now the game is over.
Yeah, it really. I mean, and it ended so quickly, and that does tend to happen against this type of lineup. But the beginning of the end was that set of mid racks that you just had two what the hell plays out of nowhere.
Huskar is
Regardless, you hand it to Complexity. They've, a lot of people questioned whether they were going to be able to keep posting results after TI5, after losing Fly and Moon, and they look pretty good in this series.
Diz still has Aegis. He just pops a Satanic and is like, yeah, what up? Pizza dad. Yeah, you're still alive. You're still okay. Yeah, Complexity. Game 1 was meticulous, very well executed, slow and steady, and they knew their limits. Boreal tried to hold out.
And yeah, I'm. The more I think about it, by the way, the more that Spectre's item build is just highly suspect. but what do you want? I mean, I really liked the job that Boreal did, just keeping themselves in this game for that long. I thought that there were a couple of points where if they'd lost a fight, they would have been in big trouble. But Boreal in general and Jeppins in particular really made some good plays to keep them in it. But then, yeah, just some inexplicable decision making near the end of the game, and Complexity ends the game like that.
Well, guys, that's it for tonight. 2-0 for Complexity here in the ESL 1 in New York in North American qualifiers. I've been Durka, and this series has kind of blown my mind a little bit. Game number 1 was a bit drawn out, but it was, smooth sailing for Complexity. This one, I do not understand. I'm going to have to go back and literally watch the replay of what happened there with the Zeus and the Rubik and why things happened like they did, because that's just completely out of the